Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of NC-17. My name is Josh, and today we have an amazing actress with us today. We have Miss ALYSSA DUSENDANG. How you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. So before we get into all the good, you know, movies and just everything that you got going on today, kind of take us back a little bit. What was your first memory of like the movies that kind of got you interested in wanting to be in movies?
So I actually started in theater and I want to say it was like eighth grade. It was like right before high school. I did like just local shows in my community and I can't remember the name of the first one, but it was like I was a dwarf or something silly like that. And so that's like what got me into acting. And then so I loved theater and then I always just like loved to go into the movie theater and I kind of got in like a deep rabbit hole online of like agencies and filming online and like realizing that's actually possible for someone living in Indiana. Because like as a child, you think like, oh, that's not even possible. Like I don't live in LA, but I just went on like a deep dive and found out like all this information. And yeah.
So starting off in theater, so now you've been able to kind of see it from different sides because a lot of people say theater is a lot harder. A lot of people say that
Mhm.
film's a lot harder. In your opinion, which one would you say is more challenging?
Oh gosh. I mean, they definitely both have sides that are harder. I think like for me, some people don't like theater because you're being watched, but when you're doing theater, the stage is so bright. So like when you're looking out in the audience, you really don't see anyone. But when you're on a film set, you can clearly see everyone watching you. And so for me, I feel like filmmaking is more nerve-wracking, I guess, and because I know all these people, I can see them watching me. Whereas on the stage, I can't really see anyone's faces, so I'm like, I don't care what they think because I can't even see them. But in the same aspect, I think theater is harder in the sense of you have to know, like there is no, oh, we'll just do another take. Like either you know your lines or you don't, and you can improvise as much as you can, but it gets to a point where you just got to know what's going on. So they definitely have their challenges, and I mean, I don't know if I could choose one or the other, but I love both really.
Yeah. So what were some of your inspirations like for theater and for film? Who are some of your inspirations for both? Because there are some people who do just theater, then there's some
Mhm.
people who do just film. So, kind of walk us through that and how they inspired you.
So for me, as a kid, I also loved reading, and so I think one of my big like film inspirations was always Jennifer Lawrence because she was in the Hunger Games, and that was a book I loved as a kid. So I'd say that was like an inspiration because seeing her on the screen, and I thought she did a great performance, and I still love the Hunger Games to this day. They got a new movie coming out too, so I'm excited for that. But definitely her for like my film inspiration and theater. Really, honestly, just looked up to a lot of people like in the community, like around me, like people that were just teenagers. But I was so young when I started, like in middle school, that just seeing the teenagers, I was like very inspired. Like, oh my gosh, they know all their lines. Like they're so good. Like I was very because I started like with a very minimal amount of lines. Like I was not the lead by any means when I started. And I wouldn't want to be. I probably would not have done good. But I was definitely inspired by just seeing other people, even just in my community, and seeing how even just local talent, like you don't have to be a celebrity to be extremely talented.
Oh yeah. So kind of walk us to the first set for the first film you were on. I want to say it was called Space Burgers.
Space Fingers, yes, you just unlocked a memory, actually.
uh, I said burgers, I meant bangers. Sorry, like I said, I'm tired.
You're
Uh,
fine.
but kind of walk us to that and what was your your feeling being on an actual film set for the first time?
So I was, of course, super nervous for that. I literally had no idea what to expect, like zero clue. And I didn't even find it myself. It was actually my mom. I forget exactly how, but someone at her work, they were coworkers, and his son was the director. And I think my mom was just like telling one of her coworkers, she's like, "Oh, my daughter wants to be an actress." And then somehow we got connected. And so my mom was there with me on set. So that was a little less nerve-wracking because I at least had like someone there to support me. But it was really cool. I was like a cannibal kind of zombie sort of thing. So I got my makeup done, and it was really that was really cool because I'd never like gotten my makeup done by anyone else, and everyone was super friendly, super sweet, and it was a really good experience for my first film set, and I had no clue what to expect. And I think I honestly couldn't have asked for a better first film set.
Oh yeah. Uh, so you've been in a couple other things, but some of the things that I've seen you in, we'll get to those here in a little bit. But your next one was Love Grandma. It was a short film.
Yeah.
Uh, Kind of walk us through how your character played into that and just what that one was kind of what it was about.
So that one, I was just a server. I didn't have any lines, but I the premise of the story was this family had lost their grandmother, and it was kind of taking them through their grief. And they were at the one scene I was in, they were at a restaurant, I think just eating out, and the grandpa was taking it very hardly because, of course, he's spent his whole life with this person. And it's kind of like him almost I feel like spacing off and like he's in the restaurant and he's there, but he's not really there in the moment. And I'm just serving them their food, and it gets like a close up of him just kind of like out of it, like he's not really there. And even though I was just a extra for that one, I really loved watching that one, and they had a premiere for that one, and it was really nice. I really loved seeing that.
Okay. Uh, so before we continue, because you've done short films and you've done feature films, would you say you're more comfortable in a short than a feature, or just you're comfortable all around? And what's more, what's more of an undertaking? Because on a short film, you have only a certain amount of time you can do
Hmm.
things, and on a
Right.
feature film, it's like you have a little bit more time, but still. So for
Hmm.
you, are you more comfortable with short film or feature film, or just all around you are?
I do like both, but I will say the one like pro, I guess, of a feature film is just being with your character more. And I feel like you get more like understanding of them to an extent because you just see them more often. They're probably in the script more, so you can kind of play with that more. Whereas a short film, of course, is shorter, so you don't get to like meet your character as much, I guess, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, so I do want to talk about the first film I've ever seen you in was The First Harvest.
Yes.
Phenomenal movie, phenomenal cast. I mean, I think at one point I've had almost everybody on the show, or I've worked with them in some way, shape, or form. Uh, what was your experience on that movie, and what did you take away from playing that character?
So that was really like my first lead role in anything, like in theater or in film, and my first feature film. I had done short films before, but not a feature. So that was just a whole new experience for me. And it was a great experience. Paul is an amazing director. I love working with Paul, and the whole cast, like I cannot give enough props to everyone. Like everyone was kind, like we always had fun on set. And playing Jenny was it's almost like playing myself a little bit, even though she's a little crazy. She's very near and dear to me. I love playing Jenny, and I'm very excited to be able to revisit her because she's very complex. Like she I mean, I can kind of relate to her in a sense, like just small things, like she has an older brother, so do I, like things like that. And just playing her, I think really kind of made me a better actress because, like I said, this was my first like leading sort of thing, and I really had to like deep dive into taking that on and playing a role that I wasn't entirely sure how to because I'd never done something similar to this, and I'm so grateful for Paul for this opportunity because I feel like that kickstarted everything really is like what got me into indie filmmaking.
Uh, I will say you did phenomenal in it. I mean, I've seen the
Thank you.
movie multiple times. Uh, I do want to say that, I'm when I watch movies, I watch for every single character, so then I can see it
Mhm.
through everyone's points of view. But being that character, you had to well, I don't know. So I'll just ask, did you have to take yourself to a place you've never been before because, emotionally and in your thoughts and stuff, because it's a pretty dark movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I definitely had to like put myself like of course I if you know the context of the film like she's getting kidnapped like I've never been through something like that but I just kind of had to think of like the most like traumatic things and like sad things that I've been through and kind of compare them and be like imagining myself in that position. It definitely is like of course like something I've never been through but just trying to like put myself in those shoes.
And you did allude that you do get to revisit the character in Sister Sullivan. I don't want no
Yeah.
spoilers or anything
Of
because,
course, of course.
but just kind of in your own words, what's the journey from the first harvest to Sister Sullivan for you and for the character without spoiling anything?
Okay. I would say Jenny takes you see her on like her max, I guess. Like I feel like the first film was almost like an introduction, and then the second one you're gonna see like really see who she is and everything that she's capable of without saying too much. And for me, it's awesome to revisit because it's like I said, this I feel like Jenny really kick-started everything for me, and I feel like I can do her even more justice with like all the acting I've done now. I feel like I've learned a lot and just playing characters, and I feel like I can really show her in all her craziness.
Oh yeah. That you got a stacked cast in that movie too for Sister Sullivan. I mean, you got
Yeah.
Chloe Lutz returning, you have Casey Ryan, some other people that I don't want to spoil. So,
Can't
uh,
say too much.
oh yeah. But from what I've seen and from the little information that I have, it looks like that Sister Sullivan's going to be darker than the first harvest, but also more emotionally charged.
hmm
Would you say that's a fair assessment?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%.
All right. Uh, let's go to something that is near and dear to my heart. I love the Halloween franchise. So, Halloween Ultimatus, you are now synonymous with one of the best, if not the best, franchises in all of cinema. Uh, how does that make you feel knowing that your name is synonymous in some way, shape, or form with that franchise?
It's really awesome to me. I've always been a horror fan and loved the Halloween movies. So that opportunity to kind of be associated with it in any form, I think is really cool.
Oh yeah. Uh, and you actually do play a Strode, uh,
Yeah.
which which is uh, which is interesting because when I first heard about it, I was like, all right, so how are they going to do this? And then when they did it, I mean, when I watched it, I was like, okay, made complete sense. But being on that set again, another stacked cast. You played opposite Marley Arnold and Hannah Dickens, and also Devlin Blevins. Uh, what was the interactions between you guys when the cameras weren't rolling? Like, did you guys stay in character? Did you guys help each other to kind of further the story, or just give us some stuff that we wouldn't see unless we were there?
Right. I'd love to say we stayed in character, but we were having a good time. I feel like everyone was kind of goofing off because feel like especially with the fight scenes, like those can be hard just like on your body and trying to get through that. So we were, I feel like just having fun, like making sure everyone's okay, just having a good time and not being too like dark and sad because you gotta have something to uplift you there in those like long film days. So
Oh
it
yeah.
it was fun. It was a lot of fun filming.
Oh yeah. Uh, so I know that with horror movies, when you're doing action scenes, pretty much the actors and actresses are doing their own stunts. So if at any point you've done or do stunts, are you ever nervous, or do you kind of like everything comes together and you guys plan everything out, make sure everyone's safe?
Hmm. Yeah, so luckily we had Marley, of course, and she was our stunt coordinator, so she really helped to kind of like brainstorm like what would be the safest and like also most badass way to kind of convey this fight. And I feel like she did a great job of like walking everyone through, and we had a crash pad. Um, and so just staying safe and making sure everyone was comfortable with what their stunts were. And so I feel like it went very smoothly. Like I wasn't sore, wasn't hurting, which is always always a plus because I've done stunts. I feel like sometimes where I'm like, oh, gotta hurt my back there, but, but it went good.
Oh yeah. Uh, so I actually have had the honor of working with two other actresses, yourself included, so three of you guys from the Halloween Ultimatus film. However, it was weird because none of you guys worked the same day for not there. So, uh,
It's fine.
oh yeah. But so was it? Did you guys form a bond to where it was more along the lines of like a sisters, or was it just instant click and you guys were like, best friends from get go, or did it take time? Because sometimes you just don't know about, like the chemistry and stuff.
Mhm.
To me, it looked like you guys had great chemistry, but that's just what I saw on camera. So,
Yeah.
uh, how, in your words, how would you say that kind of came together?
So I'd say I feel like we all like work together really well. Like just like kind of like an instant like okay, we're playing these characters together. Like we're friends. Like we're cool. Um, I'm a little shy sometimes, so I'm a little awkward at first, but I feel like it was pretty easy to talk to everyone, like Hannah and Marley. Like it's just I don't know what else to say. It's just easy to talk to them. Like we were just making jokes, like doing our fights, like no big deal. I'd say it was almost like an instant click. Like it was whatever. I don't know. That's very vague, but
It works. It works. So let's talk about like, do you fear any of these, like Michael Myers? And when you were younger watching these
Mhm.
characters, now that you're acting in movies with these characters, is it kind of like a nostalgic feeling, or is it something that's along the lines of like, damn, I never knew I'd be here one day?
Mhm. Yeah, I have that thought all the time. Like if I'm ever like wish I was doing more or wish I were further, I'm like looking back, like even just a year ago, I'd be so happy at where I currently am. So I have that thought a lot of like past me would be so happy of all the stuff I've done. And past me, I feel like especially with the horror, because I've always loved like Halloween and just scary movies in general. I feel like I'd be very proud to see that I'm doing a lot of that now. And not to be like cringy, but I don't get scared easy. And I never really got scared easy as a kid. I think the thing that like freaks me out more than killers are like paranormal stuff. which I haven't done a lot of paranormal, but I think that scares me more than like a killer. Because a killer, like, I'm just gonna kill you. But like, what am I gonna do about a ghost? Like, I'm just gonna
True.
die.
Very true. Uh, so we'll get to this film in a couple of moments, but I do want to talk about you got a couple other things coming up. You play a character named Skylar in The Blood Moon. Uh, Again, without spoiling anything, kind of what's your character like? How does it play into the movie? And a brief synopsis of the movie.
So the Blood Moon is basically just a vampire movie, putting it without saying too much about it. Um, the main character, Alex, I'm Skylar, and Skylar is his little sister, not by blood, but like a bond, essentially. Um, and we're all in a band together, so I got some cool band scenes, and there's some fight scenes in that too. I won't say too much, but um, it's almost like a vampire war. Humans get involved. Like I don't want to compare it to Twilight, but almost Twilight-esque sort of film, I'd say.
All right. Uh, so you're also in another one. You play Abigail Outpost 23.
Yeah. Yeah. That one is not released yet, so I can't say too much really, but I I'm like a secretary almost kind of, I'd say is the right word, and bad things happen is all I'll say. I don't want to say too much.
Oh yeah. All right, so let's talk about Not There. Uh
Yay.
you have a brief scene in it, and it's not a spoiler because well yeah, it's not a spoiler, but you do have a brief scene in it. When you originally was asked about it. Now I'm gonna act like I'm not the one who asked you. No, I'm just playing. When I approached you and said, "Hey, would you like to be in this film?" What was your first thought? And because I'm coming out of nowhere, like my first
hmm
time doing anything, but I know I wanted to reach out to certain people, and I hoped certain people would reach out to me. And
hmm
after watching the first harvest, like that entire cast, if I ever had a chance to work with, I was going to try to work with them.
Right.
So, what was your first thought? And when you read the script, what was the final script? Because we went through many script
Right.
revises. But when you read the final script, kind of what was your thought without spoiling anything? Because it is not yet. It is not out
Right.
yet.
I won't say too much. But when you approached me, honestly, I get like honored when anyone approaches me, like even if you have zero filmmaking experience, like the fact that someone thought of me or like saw something I was in and was like, "Oh, I like that." Like I'm always so happy to just know that my work is actually out there and like people are actually seeing it and enjoying. So I was honored and I was on board. I was like, "Okay, like let's do this." Um and reading the script, I knew this was going to be a good one, a good, juicy. I don't want to say too much, but it was juicy. Like, I feel like there's a lot of like mystery almost, and yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. Like,
Well,
there's
I'll tell you.
mystery.
You can go ahead and say you can. I'll say it like this.
You say it best.
This story revolves around multiple characters, but each character is there for a specific reason.
Right.
Now, at one point, your character was had a much larger part, but of course, like I said, different rewrites and stuff like that.
It happens.
But I will say, and this is a spoiler that I will let out right now.
Okay, I didn't say it.
Right. For those who are going to be seeing this interview a little bit later, the first returning character that I can announce is ALYSSA. She will be playing Kat. She is the first returning
Yay!
character. I won't announce anybody else until later.
Zip it. That's enough.
Oh yeah, but I will say that what we touched up on in part one in your scene really takes focus a lot in part two. Yeah,
I think that was good. I think that was you gave it away. Well, you didn't give it away, but you alluded, if that like
yeah.
I like I like how you put it because I from what you've told me, like it's like my story progresses and I think that'll be fun to see.
Oh yeah. Uh, I will say though, just working with you that one day, you're a phenomenal actress. You know,
Thank
and
you.
and like I'm not even gonna lie, you made some facial expressions during that scene. I was like, if that don't sell the scene, I don't know what will.
You're like, we got it, one take wonder.
uh, but to allude a little bit to what you said before about like ghosts and stuff like that, this is a supernatural slasher.
I know.
So I mean, you might get your wish a little bit on both. I'm
Are
not
you
gonna tell you.
right? I might get a little spooked out.
Oh yeah. uh, but through all the works that you've done, what is the number one thing you took away from just in general, not even just from one specific movie, just in general? What's the number one thing that has stuck with you?
I think the one thing I've learned is to not take myself too seriously. And of course, like I want to give my best work and have the movie or short film, like whatever it may be, come out the best, but not to like don't it not everything is so deep. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we're indie filmmakers. Like we're here to have fun. We're here to make a movie, but like I don't know. I feel like sometimes bad attitudes or like being too serious or too hard on yourself even can kind of get in the way, but you just at the end of the day, you got to remember that I do this because I love it and I want to bring my best self forward, but I don't want to kill myself doing that in the process, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I've asked this question to numerous guests. What is the soundtrack to your life? Like, what music plays daily to get you from point A to point B on a daily basis?
Oh gosh. And there's so many artists I love, but I'm actually wearing a like band, not band, but like um concert t-shirt now. It's Chromacopia. It's Tyler the Creator. So I guess I'll just have to shout out because I'm wearing this shirt. But I love Tyler the Creator. I love Chromacopia. That's his newest. Well, actually, no, not his newest album because he just released one like shortly after he made Chromacopia. But I love that man. Love all the music. I'd say that's my Chromacopia. That's my soundtrack.
All right, all right. I will be honest, haven't heard it. I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah, you gotta go listen.
Oh yeah. Uh, so what advice would you give anybody who's trying to get into the industry, whether it be acting, theater, just anything in general?
Mhm. I would say just don't be afraid to put yourself out there because you're going to get no's no matter what. Like if you see a casting call and your first thought is like, "Oh, like I'm not gonna get it," like just submit anyways. Even if you're not like the perfect age that they're looking for or like the look, like they say they want a certain hair color, it doesn't hurt to just submit yourself anyways because you never know what might happen. And I feel like just putting yourself out there is really the key to finding stuff because you're never gonna find anything if you just wait for like the perfect opportunity. Like you just gotta go searching really.
Oh yeah. Uh, is there anybody in the industry, whether it be independent or Hollywood, that you haven't worked with that you would that's like your number one? Like if you worked with them, you could say, I've reached my pinnacle. Who would that person be?
Oh gosh, this is so hard. There's so many good people out there. Well, I don't want to like personally offend anyone in the indie scene, so I gotta think of like a celebrity. Um, because
That's
because
smart.
then some people will be like, why didn't you say me? I'm like, okay, so hmm, I'd say right now who I would love to work with is Zendaya. I don't know why she's the first person that came to my mind. I love Dune, and she's in Dune, and I don't know. I feel like I like grew up with her in a weird way because she was on Disney Channel as a kid, and she's now like doing big movies. Like I just feel like she would be a great actress to work with.
Oh yeah, and that's a solid choice though.
Thank you.
She's been in. I mean, she's been in superhero movies, sci-fi
hmm
movies. I mean, it seems like everything she touches is a blockbuster.
Right, yeah, she's done a lot here lately. And I think I feel like there's a movie coming out that she's in, but I cannot think of what it is.
I
I
can't
don't
either.
know. I don't know. Maybe I'm like imagining that, but I feel like there's something.
Oh yeah. Well, I know she's in the next Spider-Man movie. Comes out next year.
Right. Yeah, there's
So,
that, of course.
so if you could, before I ask this question, I will say, not their part two is already written. So, if on film, any way your character can meet a demise, is there a certain way that you would want your demise to be met?
I kind of feel like I would want like a gruesome death, like just for fun, like lots of blood for no reason. Just make it so dramatic, because why
Uh,
not?
oh yeah. Your camera froze, but we can still hear you.
Oh, I don't know why. That's so weird.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We can still hear you. Uh, interesting. I'll just say that. Interesting. Uh,
Noted.
so is there anything that you would go back and tell 10-year-old you that you didn't know then that you know now? What would that be?
I would tell myself to not stress it so much because I feel like when I was younger, I was so like stressed about like I need to move to LA and make it big and da 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 and like all these things. And now I'm content with where I'm at. Like I need to know that I would tell myself it's all gonna work out. Like you will find your group of people and it's gonna be okay.
Oh yeah. Uh, so let's talk about one more thing, then well, because we're coming toward the end of the show, but you've been nominated for some NC-17 awards.
Yeah.
Uh, when you found out you were nominated, now keep in mind, and I want everybody to know this, I have not been the one nominating people, and I will not be the one choosing the winners. Though that's all being done with other people helping me behind the scenes. So when you found out you were nominated, what was your first reaction?
I was honestly surprised. I feel like a lot of the people on the lineup are awesome, and just like even being next to these people was like such an honor to, like I said earlier, like that the fact that people see my work and like think of me like I'm being perceived is like I don't know, it's just so cool, and it makes me feel like shocked and special and just honored. Like I don't know how to put it besides that.
Oh yeah. Uh, so I will give you the floor for a couple minutes. You can plug your socials where people can or cannot reach out to you. That's entirely up to you. Where they can watch your movies if they're out and what they can look forward to in the future.
All right. Well, my social medias are all just my name, just Instagram at the Alyssa Dusendang, Facebook Alyssa Dusendang. Nothing special. Don't search me up on TikTok. I post funny stuff, but I'm a little weird. So if you find me, then good for you. Um, let's see, what do I have coming? Oh, Kevlar Soul is a film I have coming out. I don't know the premiere date to be exact. We're still working on that, but it should be in January. I will post it on Facebook though once I figure out. A lot of my stuff is on YouTube though. If you just stalk my Facebook, you could probably find anything on YouTube or somewhere online. Um, and yeah, I think that's really it.
All right. I do want to note one thing though. You mentioned it earlier, and I just noticed now that the camera's frozen. You oh no, there you go. You're not frozen.
No, I
But
don't
I
know why
do
my
see.
Wi-Fi sucks.
Hey, it's okay. I've had interviews where they cut right in the middle because, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
But I see you have the Twilight books back there.
yes, I do. I
So,
know. I said that earlier. I was like, the film's kind of like Twilight, and I was like, well, I have my Twilight books back here.
so funny story, if you can indulge me for one moment. Uh, I never knew what Twilight was until my wife goes, "Let's go watch a vampire movie." I was like, "Vampires? I love horror. Cool." They mentioned vampires. First thing that pops in my head is like Lost Boys and
Right.
Fright Night and stuff. We get to the theater and I'm like, I am never
You're like,
letting
what
you
is
pick them
this?
exactly. But the next couple movies that came out, mainly the whole franchise, I did take her to see them. Not particularly my cup of tea, but I will say at the end of the whole franchise, that battle scene, one of my
Yeah.
probably in my top five favorite battle scenes. So,
Nice.
guilty pleasures,
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies. It's like a guilty pleasure. Like I know it is not the most like cinematic, beautiful, like amazing acting film by any means, but I don't know, it's just like nostalgic and like I don't
Oh
know,
yeah.
it's like a little bad that and that makes it good. It gives it character.
Oh yeah. I mean, only thing that really kept throwing me is like when I see vampires in the sun, I don't see them sparkling, I see them exploding.
Right? I know,
But
like that whoever made that idea, you know what, props to them because it's unique.
it is unique. Yeah. But I do want to say thank you for coming on the show. And
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'll, you're more than welcome on this show anytime. I tell everybody once you've been on NC-17, you have a home with us. Well, we work together, so you have a home on here anytime you want to come on.
Of course.
you know, uh, but definitely be on the lookout for every single thing that Alyssa has coming out. She's got a couple other projects that we weren't able to go over, but I'm pretty sure once people get wind of it, we'll have her back on and talk about. You know. Until next time, everyone, stay in C17.